Okay, so yesterday we did this one trial about how the experiment. So Mehdi, were you able to do the experiment for the loony and Toonie with the tissue box? This was your homework? Yes, Mehdi?
Yeah.
Were you able to do this experiment? Yesterday I gave you guys an experiment for math to do with the 5 loonies and 5 toonies. Were you able to do it?
Oh no.
Okay, so I hope you can do this over the weekend. Okay, this is one worksheet you have to do. Okay, I will be posting this on the Google Classroom, so you have to complete this one. And then this is the new one. So 13.2, predicting outcomes. Okay, if 500 residents in Ontario were surveyed. Okay, so this is also one you have to do.
Teacher, your mic is muted. I can't hear you.
Yes, Mehdi and Haika, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the percentage for Ontario, like that have trees only?
Only trees?
Yes.
22%.
Okay. So 22% is what we have to like basically multiply by 500 to find out the remainder like the amount of people that actually are in Ontario that are using trees. So can you multiply 50 by 0.22?
50
So
or 500 do I multiply with?
yeah, sorry, 500 multiply because we have to convert 22% to a decimal, so it's actually 0.22. So can you multiply
110.
110? So these are the amount of people that are using that are yeah that are that have trees in there. Okay, in Ontario. So what about bushes? So bushes is okay, so 500 people. Same thing, we have to multiply by the percentage that have bushes. So how many percentage people have bushes? Yes, Haika.
Sorry?
What is the percentage in Ontario that have bushes?
59.
59. So again, we have to convert 59 to decimal. So 500 times so 59 we divided by 100 to convert to decimal. So we get 0.59. Okay, can you multiply 0.59 by 100 to find the remainder amount of people?
95.
Sorry?
295.
295. So these are the amount of people that have bushes. Okay. So 295 and then both trees and bushes. So you have to add the tree percentage with the bushes. How much is that?
Let me check.
Oh, we don't have to add actually. They already have both. They have both written here and it sells to you 3%. Okay?
Okay.
The people in their houses that have both trees and bushes is actually 3%. So 3% is actually 0.03, right? In decimal, can you multiply that by 500 to find the total?
Okay. That'd be 15.
15. So 15 people have both they have trees and bushes. Okay. Okay, number 2 is if 500 residents in Manitoba were surveyed, how many of them would have neither trees or bushes, nor bushes? So basically we have to add all of them, right? The percentage. Can you add 25 plus
So basically
50?
5 plus 7, 50 is 7 and 4.
Yeah, basically add all these three. 24 plus 57 plus 4. So what is 25 plus 57 plus 4?
85.
85, okay? So this is what we have to minus because you know how they're saying the probability is 1 minus that number? So 1 minus what 85%. So convert 85 to a decimal. It's gonna give you 0.85. So can you minus 1 minus 0.85?
So 1 minus 0.85.
Mm-hmm.
0.15.
Yes, so 0.15 people in Manitoba have neither trees or neither, right? Basically. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and so they're saying, tell me that they're saying also tell the number of residents. So you know already there's 500, right? People. total people, and you have to multiply by the percentage, the probability you just calculated, 0.15, okay, or 15%. So your 0.15 people have neither trees, so you have to find the number of people, okay? So we found the probability, but we have to ask actually now find the number of presents. And for the number of people, you have to multiply it by 500, okay? Okay, can you do that? How much do you get?
75.
75 is your answer. Okay, good. Now this one is number 3. Okay, I want you to tell me. I think I already assigned you this one. Maybe you did it. Can you tell me how to do it? So households that own property had 70% chance of having plants, whereas households that did not have own property had 42% chance of having plants. Okay. So if 200 households owning property were surveyed, how many of them would have plants? Okay, so can you tell me, Haika, how am I gonna do this? So they're telling us households that own the percentage that of people that own property is 70%, right? And they're saying that there's 200 households owning property, 200, right?
So we multiply those two.
Yeah, first let's read the entire chance of having plants. Okay, so how many of them would have plants? And yeah, so can you multiply? Yeah,
Wait, do we convert it to a decimal now or later?
right now you have to convert 70% to the decimal when you multiply to find the people, like amount of people who have households, right? You have to remember we always have to convert to decimal.
Okay, so it's gonna be 200 times 0.70.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Answer is 140.
So 140 have households owning property that would have plants. Okay, property that would have plants, it would be 140. Okay, good. Okay, now what about this one? B. How am I supposed to do B? If households not owning property were surveyed, how many of them would not have plants?
Okay, so it's the 42%, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we need to convert that to decimal. That would be 0.42. And we have to multiply that with 200.
Yes.
Give us 84.
Okay, so 84 is the people that have house that do not own property, having plants, right? Okay, good. So I'm gonna post the new worksheet in the chat and as well in the Google Classroom for your weekend homework. Okay, the worksheets you have to do for math. So let me just first share it so you can practice one question right now and in class, and then if you don't understand, you can let me know. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Ah.
So, did you guys receive it? Mehdi and Haika and Aya, you guys have to work on the worksheet.
Okay.
Okay. So please, you guys have, I think I'll give you guys 15 minutes so you can complete the worksheet and submit, and then we can discuss the answers after. Okay.
Teacher, could I have some help?
Yes. Do you need help?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the first question,
Yeah, so it's like I read Janet is a data analyst, and she used the circle graphs to make predictions for January 2015. She predicted that the total merchandise export would be 12 billion and the total merchandise imports would be 14 billion. How much of the exports would be from base metals? So I'm not really understand what should I do.
okay. So they gave you the pie chart. Okay, let me just share my screen in a second. Okay, so this is the pie graph. So they have two of them. So they have merchandise exports in December 2014, and they have then merchandise import, so exports, and one is for import in December 2014. Okay, Janet is a data analyst and she used the circle graphs to make predictions for January 2015. She predicted that the total merchandise exports would be 12 billion and the total merchandise imports would be 14 billion. Okay, so let's see how much of the exports would be foreign. So imagine, okay, if you have total exports, they're saying is 14 billion, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And then you're saying then the imports here would be the total are no, sorry. The imports are 14, but the no, so the imports are 14, yeah. So okay, in this graph it says the circle that show the percentage. Okay, so base metal in the exports was larger as compared to the imports, right? So you would imagine this as being one whole, okay, paragraph, and the center of it is like this. So let's say this is about 0.4, okay, percent, 40%. Okay, and because it's covering most of it, and then maybe 10% is this much, and then in here it's about 30 because see this 30, this is 5, it's 30 plus 5, 35, and then 15, right? And then this is can be 20, this can also be 30, and this can also be, let's say, 10. Okay, no, this can be actually more than 10. This can be about, let's say, 15. This can be 30 plus 45. Oh no, wait, this can be 25. I think this is 25, and then this is 15, and this is 30. 30 plus to Yeah, this is 15, and then no, this is gonna be 40, right? This is gonna be 10. Okay, so this is how it is, okay? So that means if you have 12 billion, right? According to this graph, the exports is 10%, okay? So that means 12 billion times 0.10 would give you how much? Billion has how many zeros? Does it have million has 6 zeros and billion has
7.
7, okay? So let's say this is, we're just gonna, after we add our, so can you do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 0.10. How much you get?
Okay, 1 sec. 12 with 6 zeros.
Yeah, 12 with 6 zeros, right? Just 1 zero gonna be canceled. So that means 12 million is your base metal amount, right? You get. Okay. Same thing for the vehicles is colored in green. So green is all the vehicles. So that means 25 plus the 15 is the proportion for the vehicle. So this side is, I said it was 15 because I divided first into half, right? Like, because to find, so 15 plus 25 is equal to 40. So 40% are, so 40 is percent in decimal is 0.540 times 12 billion with the 7 zeros. So can you do that?
Okay, so okay. 56 with 1 less 0, so 6 zeros would be
56 million, right? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the amount of vehicles being produced, okay? Good. So this is how the same thing you would have to do for the second. So can you start working on the second one?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
So basically, whatever million we get, that's the answer, right?
Yeah, so the million is 14 million for import, so it's different, right? So the
Yeah.
14 billion, you have to multiply it by the percentage for the import. Make sense? So like
Yes.
machine percentage multiplied by 14 billion will give you the answer for machines, how many machines you had import, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. Tabarak, can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum. Yes, Mehdi, can you tell Tabarak to please unmute? So I will be sending an assignment in the chat for Tabarak, okay? So Tabarak, please start working on it. And if you have any question, you can tell me if you don't understand, okay? So Tabarak, can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, Tabarak? Mehdi, can you hear me? Uh, yes, Tabarak, can you hear me? You are muted. I can't hear you, Tabarak. So please start working on the worksheet I sent you. If you have any question, you can ask me, okay, Tabarak?
Teacher,
Yes, Haika?
what was the percents for the machine and prepared food?
That's what we have to calculate, right? Like, first, because they don't give you the percentage.
Oh, okay.
So like, imagine like just divide first the pie into 50, like half and half, and then whatever is the larger, you have to label that more than the others, right?
Okay. Teacher, I'm done.
You're done, Haika? Okay, good, mashallah.
Yes.
So, what did you get for the first answer?
I got for the machines 21 million. I can put it in chat for you too if you'd like. So you can
Okay.
see. Okay,
Yes.
okay. I sent it.
Okay.
I didn't write the pie chart for the export because we already did that one, so I didn't need that one.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, good, very good. Okay, good job, Haika, mashallah. Correct. I also labeled that as 15, so very good, mashallah. You got the right answer. Okay, so let's do English, a little bit of the reading. Okay, can you read this one, Haika? Yes. Yes, Haika, can you hear me? Haika, can you hear me? Anyone? Can you guys hear me? Mehdi, can you hear me? Haika? Yes, Haika, can you hear me? Okay, so this is a worksheet I'm gonna assign you guys, okay? Haika, can you hear me?
Sorry, my mic was muted.
Okay. So this is one I'm gonna assign you so we can do number 3. Say bed and beat a few times. The sound that E spells is in bed is short E, and the sound that EE spells in beat is long E. Listen to the short E's and long E's in the following words, then sort them into 2 groups. So what do you think queen is? Is it in the short E or long E?
Long.
Help,
Long.
help.
Oh, help.
Mm-hmm.
Short.
Short. Get,
Short.
3.
3 would be long.
Best,
Short.
yellow.
Short.
She,
Long.
okay, yes. And then a teacher,
Short.
question,
Short.
these,
Long.
yes. Seat,
Short.
rent,
Short.
believe,
Long.
then,
Short.
leave,
Long.
7.
Short.
Good, good, okay. So some words to like other that I assigned you is that the carefully for the short A, like in at, the short A and the A spells in 8 is called long A. Okay, so this is you can write these words down, right? I'm gonna send a picture of this same worksheet.
Are we working on it now or later?
You can work on it now till we have like 10 minutes. You can just okay, Heike?
Okay. Teacher,
Yes, Haika.
I'm missing 2 words.
For the same worksheet.
Yeah, I can't. In the worksheet that you gave, I have still 2 more blanks.
Oh, sometimes they give you extra blanks, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. So, did you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Oh, yeah, we're supposed to have actually, there's 16 words, so there should be 16 blanks, and there are 16 blanks. Let me just check how I sent it to you. Let me see.
Okay.
No, I sent you right. I sent you everything right. So what did you write for short A?
For sure, Ray, I wrote magic place come, station, then last name, and I don't know the last one. Then for long A, I wrote chance, happy, laugh, apple, flavor, someday, and scratch.
Mm-hmm. So they're counting to be like maybe there's 1 or 2 words that you missed from the table. So let's see. Say at 8 few times. The sound that A spells is at is called short. The sound that A spells in 8 is called long. So magic is short, right? Magic.
Yes.
Favor is short. Name is it long? Long.
I think so.
Yeah. Chance is chance. Is it
Chance
long?
is long.
Yeah. Happy.
Happy. So I put it in long.
Happy. Happy. I think happy is happy, right? You want to say happy. Would you say happy or happy? I'm happy.
Okay.
It's short, yeah.
Yeah.
Laugh. Laugh.
Laugh. I put
Long.
that in long.
Yeah. Place. I went to a place. That's short or long?
I thought that was short because you don't
Yeah.
really say it that much.
Yeah. Apple. Short.
Apple, I put in
You don't say apple, right? You say apple, right? Kind of short, right?
yeah.
Came. It's long, right?
Yes, it's long.
Scratch.
Sorry?
Scratch.
Oh, scratch, I put in long.
Scratch. I feel like it's short. Scratch, right? It's not that prolonged, right? Like ate. I ate an apple. Scratch. You just say scratch, right? It's not like
Oh,
really.
okay.
Same. It's prolonged. So same is long.
Same.
Station. Yeah, same is
Oh,
long.
I think
Same.
that's the word I didn't put.
Yeah. Same.
Yes, that's long.
Yes. And then station. Station is short. Someday. Someday is long.
Yes, that's long.
Then is short.
Yeah.
Last long. Take. Take. I went to take. Take, is it long?
I think so because it
Yeah.
has you can hear the A.
Yeah, so it's long. Okay.
Okay.
So now do you have 8?
Yes, now I have all.
Okay, good.
Thank you. I'll also send this in the chat.
Okay, inshallah. So I'm gonna also assign you some the words that the worksheet I sent you yesterday. I want you to practice from did you save that worksheet?
Which one?
For the spelling bee, I'll send it again. It's okay.
Okay.
So from 18 to 35, I want you practicing today.
Do you like feather? Shut up, Savannah.
I'm sending that
Like a
worksheet.
feather.
So teacher, even if we're not joining, we still do this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So this is your worksheet for practice today. Okay. So for the homework, I will assign you more obviously to do like because you have 2 weeks. But today just practice from 18 to 35. Okay. For the homework, you should be done all the worksheets. So for grade 6 and 7 and 8. So I did grade 6 already, I think. So we're doing grade 7 now, and grade 8 I will assign you for the spelling words for homework for like the weekend. Okay, for the holiday.
Crazy. Tabaki, I stop. You guys I know what you want from me. Maybe just
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So we will be doing social studies. I'm just going to be sharing my screen. Okay, groundwater. Can Haika read, please? Yes, Haika, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Can you see the screen? What are
Yeah.
these faucets? Yes.
Okay, there's certainly is an odd sight. We expect to see water at Earth's surface, but coming out of solid rock? Amazingly, much of Earth's fresh water is hidden from sight. It is present in rock and soil. In fact, 20 times more of Earth's liquid fresh water is below the surface than on the surface.
Yes, good. Okay, Mehdi, can you read groundwater? Yes, Mehdi. Mehdi, can you hear me? Come on, guys, the break is over. Can you please read, Mehdi? Aya, grade 7. Okay, groundwater, fresh water below Earth's surface is called groundwater. The water infiltrates or seeps down into the ground from the surface. How does this happen and where does the water go? Porous and impermeable rock. Okay, can Mehdi please unmute? Yes, Mehdi. Can you hear me? You know these will go towards your mark in the final for participation. If you don't participate, you won't get the mark, okay? Mehdi? Yes, Mehdi, can you hear me? Mehdi and Tabarak, can you hear me? Yes, Mehdi, today's the last day, so come on, please join and participate. Yes, Mehdi. Okay. So porous and impermeable rock, water infiltrates the ground because soil and rock may have air spaces between the grains. These pores or tiny holes result in the rock's porosity. If water can move through a rock, the rock is permeable. Eventually, the water reaches a layer of rock that is not porous. This rock is impermeable. Water stops moving downward when it reaches an impermeable layer. The diagram below shows two layers of porous rock. The top layer is not saturated, it is not full of water. The next layer is saturated. The water is in this layer has nowhere else to go. It cannot seep any deeper into the ground because the rock below it is impermeable. Yes, the saturated layer where water is stored is called an aquifer. So you see this diagram? It's like the bottom layer is the impermeable rock. The saturated water is in the middle, okay? And then the porous rocks that is soil that is not saturated is above, okay? So usually they have to dig in to get the water, right? The water is in the like in inner layer, like it's deep inside the surface of, you know, the ground. Okay? So this is a video I would suggest you to watch. Okay, so let me share this with you in the chat so you can watch it, and then we can do the discussion after. Okay. Okay, so everyone, did you see the link I posted?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so watch the video, and then we, after 10 minutes, we will do the discussion. Okay.
Okay.
So has anyone watched the video yet? Yes, Haika?
I have 2 minutes remaining in the video.
Okay, no problem.
I'm done watching the video.
Okay. So what did we learn from the video about the groundwater?
Then they were also talking about the groundwater of Antiquity with Russell Martin, and they also talked about the looks of the different actors under the plains.
Okay.
Uh,
Anything else from the video?
they also talked about the water that like
Yes. The groundwater and the
yeah, the
what is
groundwater.
the layers? Yeah, the
Yeah,
layers, right?
layers. That's the word I'm looking for. Layers. Yeah,
Yeah.
they talked about the layers that the water creates.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Good. Okay, so we learned about the layers, right? And we learned that the water is there's three layers, right? There's the one that's deep inside, right? At the bottom, and then there's in the middle, it's the water where the water is, and then the top is the soil, right? Okay, so anyone else? Mehdi? You guys get marks if you guys participate. So Mehdi, have you watched the video? Yes, Mehdi and Tabarak. Okay, so we will move to social studies. Yesterday we did about the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now we will be doing about Israel and its neighbors. Okay, so can you read Haika?
Okay. Israel and its neighbors. At the center of Middle East, on the shores of the Mediterranean Levant, the areas bordering the eastern Mediterranean seas, lies the country of Israel. Israel is bordered by Lebanon to the north, Lebanon to Syria, Jordan to the east, and Egypt to the south, covering an area of only 8,522 square miles. Israel is smaller than the U.S. states of Massachusetts and only 1/5 the size of the state of Kentucky. The coastal region which has a modern type C climate receives more rainfall than the dry interior and Negev desert in the south, both of which have
Arid.
arid type B climate.
Good. Okay. So Mehdi, can you read the Sea of Galilee? Yes, Mehdi. Mehdi, can you hear me? Please read. Okay. The Sea of Galilee, also called Lake Kinneret or the Sea of Tiberias, is major freshwater supply. The Jordan River flows from the Sea of Galilee to the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is 1,300 feet below sea level, so it has no outlet. Over time, salt and minerals have built up, creating an environment that does not aquatic life. South of the Negev Desert is the Gulf Aqaba, which provides access to the Red Sea for both Israel and Jordan. Israel does not have substantial oil resources but has potential for natural gas in offshore locations along the Mediterranean Sea. Although most of the Middle East follow the religion of Islam, Israel has a Jewish majority. Before Israel was established in 1948, it was called Palestine. Most people in Palestine were called Palestinian and consisted primarily of Arab Muslims, Samaritans, Bedouins, and Jews. The region went through a series of violent transitions before it became a nation of Israel. The division of Palestine. Palestine was a part of the Turkish Ottoman Empire before the end of World War I. Britain defeated Turkish forces in 1917 and occupied Palestine for the remainder of the war. The British government was granted control of Palestine by the mandate of the Versailles Peace Conference in 1919, and at the end of the World War I, Britain supported the Balfour Declaration of 1917, which favored a Jewish homeland. The British mandate included Palestine and Transjordan, the area east of the Jordan River, which included the current country of Jordan. Heike, can you read between 1922?
Okay, between 1922 and 1947, during British control, most of the population of Palestine was ethnically Arab and followed Islam. In 1922, Jews made up less than 20% of the population. The Jewish settlements were mainly along the west coast and the north. Jewish people from other countries, including Jews escaping German son in the 1930s migrate to Israel settlements. Palestine was turned over to control of the newly created United Nations in 1945 at the end of World War II.
Yes, good. The United Nations Special Committee on Palestine, UN-SCOP, was created by the UN in 1947 to address the Palestinian region. UN-SCOP recommended the Palestine be divided into an Arab state, a Jewish state, and an international territory that included Jerusalem. Palestine was divided by the UN. About 44% of the territory was allocated to the Palestinians, who consisted of about 67% of the population, which was mainly Arab. Approximately 56% of the territory was allocated to the minority Jewish population, who only consisted of about 33% of the population. The country of Jordan was created out of the region east of the Jordan River and Dead Sea. The city of Jerusalem was to remain under the administrative control of the UN as an international city. The Jewish state of Israel was officially recognized in 1948. The Palestinians, who were a majority of Israel's total population at the time and who owned about 90% of the land, denounced that the agreement was unacceptable. One of the consequences of the territorial partition was thousands of Palestinian Arabs were forced off the land that was allocated to the Jewish state. These Palestinians became refugees in the Palestinian portion or in neighboring countries. Palestinian Arab neighbors Syria, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Iraq, and Egypt sided with the Arab Palestinians and declared war on Israel. The war did not end favorably for the Arabs. With support and aid from Britain and the United States, the Jewish state of Israel defeated the attacking Arab armies and took control over of a larger portion of the land, including some of the land designated by the UN as a portion of the Arab half. After the Arabs lost the first war against the Jewish state of Israel, the Palestinian problem increased. By 1950, more than 750,000 Palestinians living in the Jewish-controlled regions of Israel were forced out of their homes and into refugee camps. According to the UN 2010, about one-third of the registered Palestinian refugees, more than 1.5 million, lived in 58 recognized refugee camps in Jordan, Lebanon, and the Syrian Arab Republic, the Gaza Strip, and the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. Jordan has the highest number of Palestinian refugees, and they have allowed most of the refugees to receive Jordanian citizenship. By 1967, the Arab armies had regrouped and were calling to attack Israel. The 1967 war lasted only about a week. The Arab armies were devastated once again, and Israel gained even more territory. Israel took the Sinai Peninsula and the Gaza Strip from Egypt, the Golan Heights from Syria, and the West Bank from Jordan. The entire city of Jerusalem came under Israeli control. The 1967 war solidified the control of the region of Palestine under the Israeli government, and Palestine placed Israel at greater odds with the Arab neighbors. Syria wanted Israel to return the Golan Heights, which has strategically military advantage in overlooking northern Israel, and Egypt wanted Israel to return control of the Sinai Peninsula. Egypt and Syria attacked Israel again on October 6, 1973, which was Yom Kippur, the most solemn holiday in the Jewish religion. The Israeli army counterattacked, driving the Syrians out of the Egyptian army back across the Suez Canal. After a few weeks of conflict, a peace treaty was agreed upon in 1977. Israeli President Menachem Begin and Egyptian President Anwar Sadat were invited to Camp David, Maryland by U.S. President Jimmy Carter. Israel and Egypt signed the Camp David Accord, an agreement not to go to war again. Egypt agreed to officially recognize the state of Israel and to not invade Israel again. Israel agreed to return the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt, and it was returned in 1982. Each participant in Accord won the Nobel Peace Prize. This is a remnant of Jewish temple built by the Herod Great and destroyed in the 17th century. The Western Wall is the holiest place for Jewish people. The Dome of the Rock Mosque in the background is the third holiest site for Muslims. In 1980, Israel passed the Jerusalem Law, which stated that the Greater Jerusalem was Israeli territory and that Jerusalem was the eternal capital of the State of Israel. The UN rejected Israeli claims on Greater Jerusalem, and few, if any, countries have accepted it. Israel moved its capital from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to solidify its claim on the city, even though most of the world embassies remain in Tel Aviv. The move of the capital was designed to create a forward capital, the purpose of which is usually either to protect the nation's territory or to spur the development of country. In this case, it was to protect valuable territory. Okay, Haika, can you read? Palestinians were left.
Okay, Palestinians were left with the only religion of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, which is controlled by the Israeli government and is subject to Israel nation as of 2010. About 1.5 million Palestinians live in the Gaza Strip and 2.5 million live in the West Bank. A number of cities in the West Bank and Gaza Strip have been turned over to Palestinian authorities for self-governing.
Okay. The PA was established between the Palestinian Liberation Organization and the Israeli government to administer internal security and civil matters. The PLO and the PA are two separate entities. The PLO is the internationally recognized government body of the Palestinian people. It is legitimately recognized by the UN to represent the area known as Palestine in political matters. There are two main political parties within the PLO, Hamas and Fatah. The Hamas party is the strongest in the region of the Gaza Strip, and the Fatah party is the strongest in the West Bank. The Palestinian Israel and possible solutions. Can you read, Haika?
Okay. The future of the West Bank on the Gaza Strip has been focused to talk about the negotiation for decades that various ways to approach this issue. A one-state solution and two-state solution has been proposed. The one-state solution proposed the creation of a fully allocated state of Israel in creation of all of the people within the border into one country of Gaza Strip and West Bank into the Jewish state of Israel is part of the
Mm-hmm. Many Palestinians support the one-state solution, but most of the Jewish population does not. Family sizes are much larger on the Palestinian side, so it would be only a matter of time before the Jewish population would be a minority population and would not have full political control to have the Jewish state of the Israel. The Jewish population needs to keep its status as the majority. To have a Jewish state of Israel, the Jewish population needs to keep its status as the majority. In a two-state solution, Palestinians would have their own nation state, which would include the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. The rest of the former Palestine would be included in the Jewish state of Israel. The two-nation concept, Israel and a Palestinian state, has been proposed and supported by a number of foreign governments, including the United States. Implementation of a two-state solution is not without its problems. However, at the present time, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip are under the Jewish state of Israel without full political or economic autonomy. The two-state solution would buy more time for the Jewish population with smaller families to retain power as a majority political voting bloc. Parties to the negotiation have agreed that most likely solution is to create a Palestinian state bordering Israel, but it is not clear how to make this happen. Palestine is now divided between the Jewish state of Israel with 7.3 million people on one side and the Palestinian with 4.0 million people in the West Bank and Gaza Strip on the other side. After 75% of Israel population of 7.3 million people are Jewish, and about 25% are Arab. Travel between Israel and the Palestinian areas is heavily restricted and tightly controlled. A high concrete and barbed wire barrier separates the two sides for much of the border. The West Bank provides fresh water used on the Israeli side for agriculture and industrial processes. The industries also employ Palestinians and support them economically. Jewish people from the various parts of the world continue to migrate to Israel, and the Israeli government continues to build housing settlements to accommodate them. Since the West Bank region is under the Israeli nation jurisdiction, many of the new housing settlements have been built in the West Bank. The Palestinians who lived there strongly opposed the settlements. In 1977, only about 5,000 Jews lived in the West Bank. As of 2010, there were more than 200,000. The Palestinians argue that if they were to have their own nation state, the Jewish settlement should be in their country and wouldn't have to be either resettled or absorbed. Israel maintains the two-state solution is indefensible because Jewish settlements in the West Bank cannot be protected of the West Bank and separated from Israel. The political issues in Israel are complicated after a series of wars and considerable negotiations. The central problem remains. Jews and Palestinians both want the same land. Both groups want Jerusalem to be their capital city, and neither group can find a compromise. Support for the Jewish state of Israel has primarily come to the United States and from Jewish groups external to Israel. There are more Jews in the United States than are in Israel, and the U.S. Jewish lobby is powerful. Israel has been the top recipient of U.S. foreign aid for most of the years since 1948. Through charitable donations, U.S. groups provide Israel additional billions of dollars annually. Foreign aid has given the Jewish population in Israel a standard of living that is higher than the standard of living of many European countries. In the past decade, most of the PLO's operating budget has come from external sources. Arab neighbors provide millions of dollars annually. Though Iran is not Arab, they have provided aid to the Palestinian cause in support of fellow Muslims against the Jewish state of Israel. The PLO has received the bulk of its funding from its European Union. Russia has also provided millions of dollars in aid. The United States provides millions of indirect to Palestine annually. The Gaza Strip is one of the most densely populated regions on Earth, and it's located in the desert. There are few jobs and no real methods of gaining wealth. Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip or the West Bank need to rely on outside support to survive. The West Bank is only about 30 miles wide by 75 miles long, yet more than 2.7 million people call it home. The Gaza Strip is a desert region about 6 miles wide by 23 miles long, and it's home to more than 1.7 million people. Unemployment rate averaged about 26% in the Gaza Strip and about 26% in the West Bank. Underemployment is also a major issue in that there may be few employment opportunities for professionals with specialized skills or university degree in a specific field of interest. The Jewish state of Israel has been fighting a low-level war against Palestinian resistance groups such as Hamas since 1948. In 2008, the leaders of the Fatah party were more prominent in the West Bank, took matters to the PLO Central Council, which chose Mahmoud Abbas as president of the state of Palestine. The problem between Israel and Palestine are far from settled. The region is interconnected with shared concerns. The biggest supporter of Israel, the United States, invaded Iraq in 2003. The invasion raised the concern level of Islamic groups in the Middle East, including the Islamic leaders that control the government of Iran. Israel has nuclear weapons, and Iran has worked at developing nuclear weapons. U.S. involvement in the region has heightened tensions between Iran and Israel. Oil revenues are driving the economies of most of the Arab countries that support the Palestinians. Oil is an important export of the region, with the United States as a major market. The difficulties between Israel and Palestinians continue to fuel the conflict between Islamic fundamentalists and Islamic reformers. Some Islamic groups have accepted Israel's status as a country and others have not. The Israel-Palestinian problem drives the politics of Middle East. The U.S. war in Iraq has complicated the situation, but has not superseded it. The situation in Palestine is predicted to continue long after problems in Iraq have stabilized. So you can see, how the Jewish settlement spread over all of the Palestine in 1948. They had, technically they were spread apart, like all over this the country. So Palestine was they lost power basically. Okay, and then this is about Jordan. Jordan is the north of Arabian Peninsula, are three Arab states that surround Israel, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. Each country possesses its own unique physical and cultural geography. The country of Jordan was created through the British mandate after World War One, when Britain defeated the Turks in Palestine. The area east of Jordan River became the modern country of Jordan in 1946. From 1953 to 1999, during the most volatile periods of the region, the country was ruled by King Hussein, who was able to skillfully negotiate his way through the difficult relationship with Israel and keep his country stable. When Palestine was divided by the UN to create the State of Israel, the region of Jordan received more than 1 million Palestinian refugees from the West Bank and Israel. Refugees make up a large portion of the more than 6 million people who live in Jordan today. About 1/2 million refugees from U.S. war in Iraq are included in that total. Okay, so this is King Abdullah talking to the former Prime Minister, President Obama of the United States. So this is about Syria and the Syrian government. Okay, and Lebanon as well. So they all border Israel, okay? Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. They all border Israel, which used to be Palestine. Okay, so these are some questions I will be posting in the Google Classroom. Okay, Haika and Mehdi and Aya. So
Okay.
please, I hope you have a good holiday, inshallah, and I will post these questions and some activity also for a cumulative assignment on the Google Classroom. So it will include English, social studies, and science, okay, and the spelling bee questions, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa
I'll make
rahmatullah.
sure to dua for you too when I go to my trip.
Jazakallahu khairan, Haika, so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I will also, so inshallah, you can, whenever you have time, you can, do the assignment, and you don't have to worry about the previous one. I will just make a cumulative, which will include everything, okay, that you have to do. Okay. Okay, any questions for so far? Do you have any questions for me in mind? Anyone? Okay. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم.